Have you been enjoying the nice weather recently?
I've been absolutely loving it.
As have I.
Yes.
Yeah, the allotment's looking a bit dry, but yeah. So we're going to talk about UV and sun protection today, aren't we?
We are.
And we're going to start with sweet orange.
Yes.
Because that's an ingredient we use a lot in our products.
Yes.
So I'm really going to let you take the lead on this because obviously you're the scientist. So could you briefly explain how sweet orange works in terms of UV or sun protection?
Yeah. So, I mean, that is a great question because something we are very frequently asked about here at Cosy Cottage is, are there any natural alternatives to traditional synthetic sunscreen products? And the real reason for that is because there is actually a growing body of evidence that some of the benzene related chemicals that cause the sunscreen effect in traditional products are not great for our skin. They're readily absorbed by the skin, and they have potentially endocrine disrupting and other disruptive influences on the body. Another thing is that they are known frequently to be bad for the sea, bad for the coral reefs, and not great for the environment. So we often get asked, are there any alternatives? Now, sweet orange, there are scientific papers around how sweet orange can perform the function of an absorber of ultraviolet harmful rays.
Okay.
And there are two ways actually that a substance would protect you against the sun. So the first way is it would, reflect the rays away from the skin before the rays actually get to the skin. So on the surface, so something whitish or shiny, that would reflect. And then the second way, and that's where sweet orange would come in, is that they actually absorb the bits of the light spectrum that cause the problem.
Yes.
So it's absorbed before it gets to the skin.
Yeah, very interesting.
And that's where sweet orange fits. And that's where this scientific, I won't call it evidence yet, but it is scientific research and scientific citations based upon early studies of the impact of sweet orange. And it's not confined to sweet orange. Things that are fairly vibrant colours around the sort of red, orange, blue part of the spectrum, they tend to have the same effect.
That's interesting.
So, there's a lot of alternatives.
Yeah. So what are some of those ingredients? Things like carrot?
That's right. Yeah. So carrot seed oil, dunalina, I think is its Latin name. It's very vibrant orange and a very dark. So when you actually look at it, it's very dark. It's very vibrant orange. It causes orange staining.
Yeah.
And when you put it into a skincare product, it will therefore logically perform the function of some sort of protection against UV. There's others. There's red raspberry seed oil.
Yes.
So we use that in our face cream already. And again, the clue there in the red colour. Charcoal and cacao also have that effect. They're dark, so they will absorb light, but they're not great necessarily, those substances, to be on the surface of the skin. They can be fairly heavy. And so there's this conglomeration, if you like, of orange and red dark substances, natural substances that are reported to be helpful in absorbing the harmful part of the UV spectrum.
That's interesting. I'm glad you've brought that up, actually, because as our hand and body balm, we don't recommend it to people to put it on their face, do we? So obviously just below the neck, very, very moisturising, has the sweet orange in there, so it maybe has that benefit of sun protection.
Yes.
And I was going to say, well, what about the face? And you've just said it there. The raspberry leaf oil's in the facial serum and the facial cream.
And it is important, actually, that I stress at this point that the weight of evidence behind some of the synthetic substances has been going on for a very long time. They display SPF labels, and some of them display very high SPF labels, in excess of 25. And those have been very, very, very rigorously tested in labs and certified. And they had to be before they could get those high or indeed any SPF accreditation. And so they are the gold standard where we are right now. There is evidence, there are growing citations, and there is anecdotal evidence as well around some of these other more natural substances. But as yet, there is not that level of certification, not that level of certainty. Now, that's not to say that in the future further research won't be available, but we are, at the start of this journey, having realised the adverse impact and potential adverse impact long term of some of the SUNCREAM products that we've been using for many years. Having realised also the ecological damage that those products are doing, now is the time where the research is growing momentum for some of the natural alternatives. But I would stress again, for now, it is not appropriate to ditch all the traditional certified SPF products and wholesale move to natural. I would say, they can be a complement to the sunscreen.
Do you see there ever being room for development of a completely natural sunscreen? Is that something that you've either looked into or you see happening?
It's hard to predict the future, isn't it? And it is wrong sometimes to talk about things providing benefits when the weight of scientific evidence is not there. And that's something we try really hard not to do at Cosy Cottage. However, if we just step back and think about this in a different paradigm, nature so frequently provides natural protection against problems. So think about willow trees, salix, salicylic acid, aspirin. That is a natural provision against a problem. There's pulmonaria against pulmonary issues. Lots of herbal medicine and lots of traditional medicines found the original source in nature. So surely if we expand that thinking, it is logical to expect that there should be protection against harmful impact of the sun available in nature too. Perhaps it's not something that we have looked at in as much detail because let's think, the cancer link with UV is a relatively recent thing. So, now the research is ongoing and now is perhaps the time of inflection.
Interesting. Quickly going back to sweet orange.
Are
there any other benefits for the skin that sweet orange has other than this sun UV protection aspect?
It's rich in vitamin C, rich in other antioxidants. And we all know the benefits of those for skin health, skin healing, skin vibrancy. You said at the start of this, don't use it on your face. That's true, because we don't actually market this product as a facial product, but it has been assessed through a rigorous process and it would do no harm on your face. So I have frequently used it on my face.
Have you?
Because not only does it do all the good things I've just described, it actually seems to ward off six-legged biting friends.
Mosquito. Interesting. Because you like camping and things, don't you? So that is very interesting, Clara. I didn't know that actually. That is very good to know.
So again, that that makes sense, because if you think about citronella candles and things like that, there's citral, there's limonene, all of those good things in sweet orange.
Perfect. So you can find sweet orange in the hand and body balm.
Absolutely.
In the soaps. We do a vegan version of the sweet orange soaps as well. And I've got the shea butter here because that's got sweet orange in it as well, hasn't it?
It has,
So anything else I've missed there, Clara, that's got the sweet orange? I don't think there is there?
I don't think there is, actually. There is a measure of sweet orange in the geranium products, because geranium on its own can smell a bit like Turkish delight, and so we tone it down a bit in our products with sweet orange.
Perfect. And where can people find all this good stuff, Clara?
So they can find all this good stuff in our beautiful Malton store. and 24 hours, 7 days a week online.
Perfect. And you've written a blog, haven't you?
I have actually.
Yes.
Yeah, I've written a blog about the more generic subject of natural alternatives to commercial skincare.
Yeah.
Again, with that health warning that the research is growing and the evidence base growing, but we're not there yet.
Not there yet. Perfect. I will link that under the video in the podcast somewhere around. Clara, thank you very much. It's been very insightful.